Black superhero music, WCSU Fresh World Radio, your man Mr. Self. The world is logged on to WCSU.csu.edu. And if you've been paying attention to my Facebook page, you know that I have a special guest in the studio with me right now. His name is Gene Man, Mr. Gene Hicks.
Hey, what's up?
He has a we're gonna get into what he does, promotion, film company, music company. Thank you for coming on Fresh World Radio, man. Welcome to Fresh World.
Well, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate being here.
No doubt. Let's get into some of your background. Like, where did you start out in music, or did it start with music and film, or where did it start?
It started out, actually, I'm originally from Champaign, grew up in Champaign, and I released my first hip-hop CD in '97, called Ill with the Funk.
Okay.
And, From the Ill, I'm sorry, that was my first album. And, coming up in Champaign, first of all, being a small town outside the big city, we had to bring all the hip-hop to us, we had to bring everything to us, so I wanted to be the Dre of that area, I guess.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
At the age of 19, I started my own production, and, I hustled up a little cash and actually rented my own building and started my own video, my own recording studio.
At 19 years old?
At 19, so.
What was your major? I mean, we were at school? Or?
No, man, I was just running the streets. I was a break dancer, and, from that era, we came right into the whole rap thing, so we had a few rap groups going on, and, everybody was doing their thing, so I wanted to take it to the next level. There was a couple of recording studios in town, but they was charging, my first song that I recorded in the studio was $125 an hour.
Wow.
So that right there was kind of my introduction to the music industry to let me know that, it's going to cost me something, it's going to be something that I'm really going to have to sacrifice and, spend my time with. So I decided to take every bit of my money and buy my own equipment, and then I rented out a little office space and just started my own production, and I released my first tape at the time. This is when tapes was hot.
Right.
So we went from there, and then just everybody in that area, Decatur, Champaign, Bloomington, Springfield, started doing shows in all those areas, and then everybody started coming to me to produce their stuff.
So actually, it was you had a local buzz with that particular project.
With that, and then I made a smooth move. I guess it was a smooth move at the time, because I started my own community radio show.
Okay.
At WEFT Champaign. So we got, the radio airwaves bumping at the U of I and all the small towns in the southern area. So that kind of took my name to the next level, that I had control of the airwaves, so we could play our own music. And then I was the first person in Champaign at the actual station to turn on the phone lines. So we turned the station upside down by having people calling in and just being able to have a party online. And I started bringing rap groups in and doing live shows right there on the radio. So, just helping everybody out in that area, just trying to give everybody a little bit of avenue.
So you got a buzz out there in Champaign. You started your own company. You got the music working, and you add the radio with it. So I know at some point in time you transitioned to Chicago. How does that fit?
Well, what happened was the name of my squad was Bass Brothers Production back then, with my partner Glenn Boatwright, and I guess I just felt at a certain point I got to that I did everything I could possibly do in that area. That I wanted to go, bigger. So I guess, being a big fish in that little pond, I figured, the next move was to Chicago. I had a lot of friends in the area, so the smartest move was to move into this area, connect with all my guys here, and just try to become big fish in the big pond.
Right.
When I first got here, I did an internship at 35th Street Recording Studios.
Okay.
So just trying to give me a little introduction of who's who around here, met a few people there. And then I decided to go to Columbia College.
Okay.
Never been to college, never even thought about it, because I was already doing what I wanted to do.
Right.
But I just figured, if I would go to school for something that I'm interested in, and since I already have a few, avenues, then just, try to go for it 100%. So went to Columbia College, best move I ever made.
I'm sure.
And, I learned a lot from there, and just, wanting to be in the film industry. From the gate, that's what it was all about.
So the music was to get
into the acting,
into
the film aspect of everything. I've always wanted to do movies, so even starting out in Champaign, the hip hop was kind of like my avenue to get into the film.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this: what are some of your filming? I know you have a few films. One is an award-winning piece. What were some of the influences in film that kind of made you want to be involved in the whole genre?
I'll put it this way. I grew up watching Fred Williams and, watching Shaft and all of those kinds of blaxploitation films. So we got to actually have some heroes.
Right.
So, growing up, that kind of got watered down. And the older I got, I see that a lot of kids today didn't have or they don't have those solid role models like we used to have, to where you had the strong African-American man that was doing something positive and fighting the system, whatever it took to get whatever he needed to get across. So I guess I wanted to follow in their footsteps and kind of deliver films that would do the same thing, to have more of an impact on my people.
So give me some of your titles of your films. And
the first film was Loyalty. I did that with Tycoon the Hustler. Sam Wheeler is his original name, but we got together. He wrote this film, and it was about a gun dealer, and I played a cop after this gun dealer. It's two guys that came up in Chicago. My character basically was a young cop coming up in the police squad, and the other guy was coming up in the streets, and they kind of came up side by side. So now he's top cop, he's top gun dealer in the city.
Wow.
And it ends up that the shorty, there's a kid that's involved in the movie, and from his childhood, he's narrating the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
His father was the partner of the gun dealer.
Okay.
So he ends up raising him as his own because his father got killed years ago.
Okay.
And that's how I kind of met him through his father's murder. We kind of got connected on the case.
Uh-huh.
So the son growing up with the gun dealer ends up falling in love with this girl who turns out to be the cop's sister.
Mm-hmm.
So thus the loyalty is coming from the main guy thinking that, who is he going to run with? Is he going to run with this girl who turns out to be the top cop that's been after him for years? Or is he going to stick with him?
So actually you have like layers in the
script.
So
it's a love story, it's an action film, and it's got a lot to do with just, what's going on.
And this is an award-winning film.
Yeah, we won the Tommy Film Festival in 2008. And we had to go down to Dallas. We took first place for a feature film in that. And that was my first film that I actually shot.
Wow.
I had done a lot of music videos for a bunch of guys throughout the States. And, the guys from Racketeer Records, that was Tycoon the Hustler. They saw the work, and I did like 3 videos for their company. So they kind of liked what I was doing, and he knew that I was into the film thing. So he brought the script to me, and we just sat down, looked it over, and I was like, yeah, we can pull this off. So we started from there and knocked it down and shot it in a film festival and hit first place.
So you have a new project coming out, a new film called The Dying Breed.
The Dying Breed.
It's supposed to be released very soon.
Well, it's actually, we just got the distribution, so it's on Amazon.com.
Oh, congratulations.
You can get it right now. Thank you very much. You can go to our website at ghproductionsandfilms.com. You can rent it, or you can download it. You can buy it or rent it. And basically, The Dying Breed is, we had so much violence in Chicago in the past couple of years. That's why I wrote the movie.
Right.
And it evolves around a character. I play the character. He's a soldier back home from Afghanistan, helping his sister raise her son. Due to what has been happening in the streets, his son, through a simple act of violence, he has to find out what happens to his nephew. Something happens to his nephew.
Right.
So he takes to the streets to find out, because the cops just treat it as if it's another black on black crime. So him being in the military, he sets out to find out what happened to his nephew. And it turns out that, there's a gang called the Black Lords bringing guns in with the Italian Mafia.
Okay.
So through this act of violence, brings this guy from him just trying to be a retired soldier, just helping raise his family, to trying to save the streets, I guess, because these guns are hitting the streets like crazy. Kids are killing kids, and nobody's really stopping it. So somebody has to set out.
It's actually like relevant to today's time.
It's totally relevant
right now in Chicago streets. Actually in America.
Yeah.
As a whole.
It has a lot to do with it.
So you move up from the music, from that 19 to your production company, to your film company, to award-winning films, to release a new film, and we're flash forward to 2013, and now we are doing hip hop fitness. So tell me a little bit about Hip Hop Fitness, because I know this is your third volume, right?
Yeah, we're about to release the third volume of Hip Hop Fit, and basically me starting out as a break dancer and just being a pop locker break dancer throughout the years, I developed this hip hop fitness class where it's, we do it's a lot of like two-step moves, it's a lot of physical movements to it, but it's very simple.
Right.
So I ended up, I was doing a lot of breakdance classes and stuff out in the south suburbs and southwest suburbs. I was teaching kids breakdance classes.
Mm-hmm.
And, I never really thought about doing something for the adults, but what ended up happening was I went to LA Fitness, and I was just looking for a new place to teach a dance class.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, we need a fitness instructor. And I'm like, well, I ain't never did that before, but me being a dancer, it was kind of easy to just figure that out.
Yeah.
So I kind of went, watched some DVDs and just figured out, just built my own format of a class.
Mm-hmm.
That same day I went to LA Fitness, they hired me because she was like, well, show me a couple moves. So I did a couple moves and she hired me on the spot.
Fantastic. So it seems like it's something that's innate, like the natural process of things happen when you want to be in films, you went a certain route, got in films, wanted to be a breakdancer, pop lover, got into fitness. I know you're a martial artist as well.
Martial artist, yeah. I've been doing martial arts all my life since I was 6 years old. I'm a Kung Fu master, so that was all where the movie and everything came in. The Bruce Lee movies, the Fred Wilson movies, those kind of things. I wanted to be able to do those kind of movies, and the way the technology has changed us, you don't have to go stand in line in LA and audition to be in somebody's movie, where you can get your own cameras, build your own crew, and shoot your own stuff, get your own distribution and put it out there. So I encourage any filmmakers out there, get out there, make that movie, write that script, and put it out there. No one's going to stop you, and no one's going to tell you that you can't do it.
That's true, man. It's like technology is so available. You can do whatever you want.
We have YouTube. I'm working on an action.
Speaking of YouTube, give them the YouTube link to the clip of Hip Hop Fit.
Same as well. If you can go to YouTube and just type up Hip Hop Fit with Gene Hicks, or you can go to my website, ghproductionsandfilms.com. All of my videos, everything, my music videos are up there.
So if a guy or woman want to come out and get fit, is there somewhere they can
find you? Right now, I'm doing most of my classes at LA Fitness and Lifetime Fitness in Romeoville and Boulderville.
Okay, great.
So, they can always come out, be a guest. That is basically my station home right now for this. That's why I went ahead and did the DVD, because a lot of people would bring their cousins and their sisters and their mamas to class, and they would want that class. So I developed the DVD so they can do it at home.
Okay, got you. I appreciate you coming out, Mr. Hicks.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hip Hop Fit, if you don't know about it, man, keyword Hip Hop Fit, GH Productions and Movies.
And films.
GH give it to him.
ghproductionsandfilms.com.
Okay.
My name is Gene Hicks, a.k.a. G the Man. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. WCSU Fresh World Radio. We're going to get into the music, man, so check that out. CSU, let's go.